These people are shameless. I have been telling you guys they want to destroy everything that we enjoy. They are so miserable. Their lives lack any semblance of meaning. They can't stand to see you happy. They go out of their way to denigrate anything that unites us, especially when it comes to something that unites the family. And when I say family, I'm talking about the traditional family, the family unit they are actively trying to destroy. Over the next 4 weeks, you are going to be bombarded. You're going to be exposed to their decade long effort to ruin Christmas. They even gave it a catchy little name, the War on Christmas. Many people think this is a war on Christianity, and that's definitely part of it. But the war on Christmas, it's really a war on the nuclear family. The same nuclear family organizations like BLM openly admit they want to destroy. Before we get into the war on Christmas, we first have to get through the battle against Thanksgiving. For us normal people, today's a special day. For me personally, Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday of the year. It's not because my birthday usually falls on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is one of the only holidays we have where there's no pressure. Today, most of us will eat more than usual. We will spend time with our families. We will receive text messages from friends that we haven't talked to in a while. I've already received several texts this morning from old friends I haven't heard from in months. Some of them I haven't heard from since the holidays last year. After lunch or dinner, whichever way your family does it. With my family, Thanksgiving's always served at 1 o'clock. Every year, no exceptions. Been that way my entire life. After we eat, we'll spend the rest of the afternoon watching something else the mainstream media absolutely despises, the NFL. The holiday season, those 5 weeks from Thanksgiving to Christmas, this time of year is steeped in tradition. How many times have we heard the shitfucks say, we must change our traditions? No, we are not changing our traditions. If it were up to the deacons at Woke United Methodist, today would be completely removed from the calendar. The deacons needed someone to deliver a special Thanksgiving sermon. They needed that special someone who possessed a passionate hatred for everything considered traditional. Normally, Woke United Methodist relies on their pastor, Father Jalen Rose, to deliver heartfelt messages of propaganda. But this sermon needed to be different. They needed someone who was fearless, someone who's not afraid to call out the mythical white supremacy, someone with the ability to lie on national television with a straight face, someone who would not get so wrapped up in the emotional hatred that her wig falls off during her fit of rage. Fortunately for the deacons, they have the wicked wig of the woke on their roster, the birthing person who should be required to change her first name. Because there ain't nothing joyful about Joy Reid. This woman is the definition of evil. If Satan had a sister, it would be Joy Reid. There are very few people in the mainstream media that really get under my skin. There are very few that legitimately piss me off. Replicas like Tiffer the Bongo Sniffer, she never bothered me. Thankfully, the Tiffer ran out of climate-friendly gas, so we're not going to be exposed to her mouth farts anymore. Don Lemon doesn't bother me. Donnie's full of shit, but I don't think Donnie's a hateful dude. Chris Cuomo, Jake the Bongo Tapper, Stephen A, Shay Shay, Skippy Bebe, the gender-confused Ryan Clark. We talk about a variety of birthing persons here on the channel and their fake proclamations of mythical racism. But these people aren't evil. They're just dumbasses, paid propagandists. Joy Reid is the epitome of evil. Last night, Joy hopped on her climate-friendly broom, flew into her MSNBC furnace. She parked her broom against the wall, immediately demanding for the heat to be turned up. Sat down in her chair as her stylist brought her an assortment of wigs. Since ruining Thanksgiving was on the agenda, Joy Reid appropriately selected a wig that made her look like a fucking man. She stole the prepubescent boy look from Megan Rapinoe. I think they call that cultural appropriation. Now, I hate to put a damper on your Thanksgiving by playing this 90 seconds of absolute filth, but I'm going to play this clip in its entirety. Ladies and gentlemen, Behind the Line regretfully presents to you a shitfuck's view of Thanksgiving. Roll the film.
We begin tonight with Thanksgiving, the day we gather with friends and family to enjoy turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and pumpkin pie. We throw on the game, catch up on our lives, and then discuss, or quite possibly argue, about religion and politics. For millions of Americans, it's a day of cherished traditions. And as Americans, we certainly value those traditions. But it's also important to unpack the myth of Thanksgiving. It is a holiday riddled with historical inaccuracies, built on this myth that the indigenous welcomed their colonizers with open arms and ears of corn, a simplistic fairy tale interpretation of a 1621 encounter between indigenous tribes and English settlers that erases the genocide that followed. It's the truth Republicans want banned from our textbooks. Because here's the secret they want so desperately to keep. We are a country founded on violence. Our birth was violent. In 1619, a ship with more than 20 enslaved Africans landed in Virginia, ushering in 2 centuries of American slavery that left millions in chains or dead. And when those humans in bondage were finally free, a terrorist organization that was a card-carrying member of polite society, the Ku Klux Klan, picked up where the Civil War ended, using violence to maintain white supremacy. The Klan and its ilk are still active, and as Americans, we continue to choose violence. We are a country that chooses violence over and over again. There is no facet of American society that is untouched by it.
This fucking woman's trying to politicize Thanksgiving. She claims the origins of Thanksgiving are a Republican myth. Now I'll admit, I'm not overly familiar with the origins of Thanksgiving. I know the Indians and the Pilgrims gathered together. Well, I'm sorry. I know the Guardians and the Pilgrims gathered together to enjoy a feast and be thankful for one another. I know Abraham Lincoln made Thanksgiving a national holiday. That is the extent of my knowledge on the origins of Thanksgiving. But I thought our choice of words was interesting. Republican myth. I do know some myths I am familiar with. Mythical racism, mythical misogyny, the myth in the mainstream media that the tragic shooting in Colorado was another case of homophobia when the shooter identifies as non-binary. I have lost count of how many mainstream media myths that we have busted and exposed this year. She claims Republicans want the truth of Thanksgiving banned from school textbooks. Now, this is not an original idea from Joy Reid. This propaganda comes straight from the 1619 Project. The 1619 Project has been confirmed by numerous historians to be complete bullshit. They're trying to get this curriculum into school so they can brainwash your children into thinking America's a country built on mythical racism. Joy Reid talks about the birth of this country being steeped in violence. Oh, it's so violent. I pretend to hate violence until it's used to further my own agenda. I am not sure if you know this, Joy, and I've got to come up with a better name for her. I cannot continue calling her Joy. I'll have to think of something, but I'm not sure if the Wicked Wig knows this, but most countries in the world were founded on violence, founded off the outcome of war. You have a collection of people, 2 opposing sides. They can't come to an agreement on how to govern the population. They go to war. The winner runs the country. That's typically how it works. Every country in the world has a history of violence. She then claimed the KKK was still active in America and continues using violence to maintain white supremacy. Let me ask you something. When is the last time you heard about an attack orchestrated by the KKK? Membership in the group peaked at 4 million members 100 years ago. Today, it's extremely fragmented and disorganized with only a couple of thousand members. Outside of the possibility that they were responsible for the violence in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017, I couldn't find any evidence of KKK violence in the last 25 to 30 years. Now, I'm not saying it hasn't happened. What I am saying, it's not an epidemic like Joy Reid wants you to believe. The evil wig then claimed that America continues to choose violence. I happen to agree. The shit fucks she sits next to every Sunday at Woke United Methodist, they continue using violence to further their narrative. 2 years ago, they destroyed major cities across America. What was the purpose? What were they protesting? A fairy tale, a myth. Major chain stores like Walgreens and Target, they are closing stores in urban areas. Why? Violence, looting. Earlier this year, a Republican congressional candidate in New York was violently attacked at a campaign rally. We are seeing upticks in violence in major cities because of the soft on crime policies that people like Joy Reid promote. Yet she wants to claim you're violent. I know I keep repeating myself, but this woman is pure evil. Joy Reid will spend the day today wallowing in her misery, crying in her woke smoothie that she was born into a country that's given her the opportunity to make millions of dollars, and she's still a miserable shitfuck. She will sit in her New York City apartment alone with her inflatable husband Jason, holding on to her tight emotional support shovel, filled with anger as she watches all those happy people down below attend the Macy's Day Parade, while the rest of us will enjoy today and the tradition that comes with it. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Don't let shitfucks like Joy Reid ruin it for you. Probably going to take the day off tomorrow, possibly Sunday too. I do plan to get something uploaded Saturday, but enjoy the weekend with your friends and family. I appreciate you guys for all the support this year. The growth of this channel continues exceeding my expectations. I remember when I was working, I thought it would take 50,000 subscribers for me to be able to commit to doing this full time. Last I checked, I think we were getting close to 41,000, and this channel pays me more money than my previous job ever did. All of my patrons, I appreciate your monthly donations. All of you that continue donating through Super Thanks, appreciate your donations as well. All of you who watch every video, I appreciate all of you. We built a nice little community here. With the holidays upon us, I keep expecting things to slow down here on YouTube, and it has some, but we're still on pace for over 1 million views this month. So thank you guys for showing up every day. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Try to forget about the filth I showed you from Joy Reid, and I'll see you guys Saturday.